All right, Ask Felon back with another one. Got asked the question: did I ever have a cellmate from hell? Yes, actually, I had a couple of cellmates from hell, all the way back from jail to prison. In jail, I had a cellmate from hell, and he was a cellmate from hell because his hygiene was nasty. Like he got rejected from every dorm. Every cell block in jail made him get out of there because he didn't know how to wipe his ass or something, or he shit his pants all the time. I don't know what it was, but he always smelled like straight shit. So me being the guy I am, I thought, all right, he's getting rejected from every dorm. He's getting, it's got to be humiliating. So I tell him, you can come in my bunk, man. You just got to go take a shower and wash your ass. So he did. He went and took a shower. He still came back smelling like shit. I asked him, did you even take a shower, dude? He was like, yeah, I took a shower. So I ain't trying to be mean, but are you washing your fucking ass crack? And he's like, yeah, I took a shower. And finally, it just got to the point I told him, sorry, man, I tried to help you out, but you got to go too. So I made him leave my cell and he had to go check into another dorm. I was in jail. I had another inmate when I was in prison. My sex offender bunkie was my very first bunkie. He checked in himself because of the whole situation where he ran up debt and almost got me drug into it. Well, he didn't run up debt, he was being extorted. And he almost got me drug into it until the guy who he had the problem with ended up getting stabbed in there, which is, I talked about that in one of my other videos. And then I ended up getting lucky and I had a bunkie from, it just happened to be from my hometown. Somebody I actually knew on the streets and shit. He happened to come in there and be my bunkie for a while. But when he left, I got another bunkie he was younger than me. I think he was like maybe 20, 21 or something. But he was just goofy. Like a baby Huey, I guess is the only way to describe it. You know the cartoon Baby Huey? But it was like, he was just big, dumb, and stunk. Like, I don't understand what it is with these people that are in there that don't know how to wash or they don't get in the showers or something. But he stunk. His breath stunk so bad. It was like big old cloud of fumes just came out as he was talking. And it was like, damn, dude, you need to do something. Always scratching his ass. He always carried toilet paper around and would wipe his ass. Like, he'd be in the middle of talking to you and he'd take that toilet paper and wipe it through his ass crack. Like, what the fuck, dude? Then he'd look at it and throw it away. Like, yeah, there's some nasty motherfuckers out there. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, then I had another bunkie. He'd done been in prison for, I don't know, he'd been in prison for years, and all he wanted to do was he stayed high. He'd come in there and have Suboxone in there, Suboxone and Neurontin, and he'd stay steady high on that shit. Like that's all he did all day, and watch sports. Like he had the TV on the sports channel all day, and it wasn't even sports. It was just sports commentary, and it ended up getting to a point where me and him didn't get along because he had been locked up so long that he was used to everybody bowing down and doing shit his way, and I had my own way of doing shit. So we ended up to where he ended up checking himself in to go to another dorm. But I think he was doing that because the other dorm is where all his drugs was coming from. So I think he just deliberately did that so he could go to another dorm. But as far as bunkies from hell, yeah, I've had quite a few of them, and it's usually because they're dirty and nasty. What's the weirdest thing people traded? I don't know. I'd have to say the weirdest thing people will trade would be like work for food. Hey man, if you file this motion for me, I'll pay you. I know I'll either pay you in dope. Like I did somebody's Mothers Against Meth program for him because it was all just writing down stuff, and the dude didn't know how to write, read or write. So he told me if you do my Mothers Against Meth the form for me, I'll pay you. And I charged him, I don't know, I think it was $10. Paid me in soups and commissary and shit. But yeah, the weirdest thing I'd say would be things like that they would trade. What's the most common reason people ended up in prison? The craziest thing is about that, every single, there ain't one person in there that I ran across, and I was in there for over 3 years, and I was in jail for over 2 years, off and on. And there ain't been one person in there that I met that wasn't in there because of drugs. Whether they was on drugs and did something or because they sold drugs. But every single person that I ran across was in there because of drugs, except for the sex offenders. Did prison change me for the better or the worse? Well, it changed me for the better. I mean, I made me a better person just because now I think more about my choices and I'm not so careless with how I live my life like I was before I went to prison. And when I was on the run, I knew I had nothing but 20 years to look forward to. So, but once I got in prison, it makes you more of a man. You can go in there and but I've seen other people who go in there and it don't change them none. So I guess it's just everybody's story is different. Because for me, I took in everything that I learned in there from my GED classes to my drug addiction classes to my counseling that we had to do when I did a therapeutic community. But then again, I seen other people in there who didn't take shit from it and it didn't change them in any kind of way. So, but yeah, it changed me for the better. What's the first thing I did after getting released? I think the very first thing I did when I got released would have to be smoke a cigarette, which was pretty stupid because I didn't get to smoke the whole time I was in there. And then I got out and smoked a cigarette. I guess it was just the feeling of freedom, knowing I could do it. So I guess I just wanted to do it. And then I ended up going and seeing my mom. Actually, I was walking down the road from work release, and my mom was happening to go down that road, and she ran into me. They didn't know I was going to be out that day, so that was kind of a nice surprise for her. Were there any correctional officers that I actually respected? I respected all of them, but there was one that when I got into that fight, like I should have filed a complaint against him, but I don't know. I'm not petty like that, and nothing probably would have happened to him anyway. But he threw that one of the guards threatened to stab me in the neck with his pencil. His words was "fuck around and I'll stab you in your neck with this fucking pencil." But that was because he knew I just got in a fight, and I guess he was in a shitty mood because usually he wasn't like that. But there's always that one guard that's tries to be a hard ass and does everything by the book and wants to try to fuck with everybody for any little reason. Like I said, the first day I went to prison, they give you a name tag that you wear on your chest, and you're supposed to keep it on your left or your right somewhere, but you're supposed to keep it on your chest. And I didn't have mine on, and first guard chewed me out very first hour there. But I respected all the guards in there, and they always came in handy because, like I said, when I got all my tattoo work, I got my whole chest done, got all my arms done, both arms done, got my back done. So came handy because I showed them respect. I didn't kiss their ass or nothing. I just showed them respect. I didn't give them a hard time. So it came in handy because when I was getting my work done, they let me lock down in another bunk and they just turned a blind eye to it. They let me lock down with the guy who was working on me. So I guess you could say I actually respected all of them, but it was more me just showing respect and not bothering them. What's the biggest mistake you made after getting out? Getting back on drugs. That's what my biggest mistake was. Started smoking and then I got back on drugs. And it ended up getting me in these real close calls where I almost went back to prison several times. And if it hadn't been for the last few times, it was because my wife knew the judge. I just happened to luck into marrying a woman who knew my judge. And the time she helped me, we wasn't even married yet. We had just started seeing each other. She was my boss, and I was doing construction. But because of that connection, the judge who sentenced me and who was over my case, he was into like antiques and he owned rental properties and things like that. And it just happened to be the guy I started working for, his boss was directly connected to my judge. And my wife had been to little clubs with him, like the Rotary Club type thing. And for that reason, it saved my ass. So, yeah, the biggest mistake I made after getting out was ever going back on drugs. But with that being said, guys, if you would hit that like, comment, subscribe, drop some questions. If everybody watches this, just hit that subscribe button. I can get to my goal and then I can start getting into more detail and just finish going on with my story about how I ended up where I ended up, how the fugitive task force caught me, the close calls, and the connection to show how a judge can be corrupt. That it's not all about following the system. It's about who you know. I know that 100%. Like things down to wanting people to do favors for the mayor of the town that are illegal, like illegal as fuck. But that's something that I'll do. I'll talk about and get into all them crazy things once I reach more subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit that bell notification. But with that being said, that's all I got for you. See ya.